Hey ladies and gents, this is Dewiz coming at you with a review of the Himalayan Yeti from Creatureplica. Very excited to get this guy. Anytime there's a big monkey or a big gorilla, big ape, big simian, I am all over it. And this is no exception. Himalayan Yeti. So, let's take a look at it real quick. The Sculpt by Jean St. Jean is excellent. You have tons of details in the fur. The hands are nicely done. The gnarly fingernails are nicely done. And I really like the expression in the face. I just don't see how it could have been sculpted any better, actually. So I'm happy with that aspect of the figure. It's a big figure. It's quite gigantic. I mean, I'm going to stand it up here next to a 6-inch figure, and you can see that it just dwarfs the 6-inch figure. He's covered in details from head to toe, literally. So good job on that. One thing I have noticed, and he's so big that I'm having difficulty actually fitting the whole figure in the frame. So I'm going to do most of this review with him sort of tilted like that. But he's not terribly easy to stand. I do notice that. You have to find the sweet spot in the center of gravity. The joints are very, very tight, right? So if you're not using the stand, which luckily they did include a stand, it's just not easy to find a spot where he'll just stand there by himself, and you sort of have to hunch him forward. Otherwise, he'll end up falling. But that's why they included this accessory, which is a nice looking stand. It's got a Yeti footprint in it, and it's semi-translucent, or it's translucent but painted white, so it really looks like ice and snow. It's got a skull here of a some sort of a deer or antelope or mountain goat or something that's dead and frozen in the snow. You'd think if it was that snowy, it wouldn't be completely decomposed, but that's just a kind of a nitpick there as far as the accuracy is concerned. But it's a bone head of some sort of animal. And, you know, you put that, it's got nice big holes in the feet, so when you stick it on the stand, which is also not easy to do, by the way, it stands really, really nicely. Okay? So I'm going to be using that stand for sure. So let me get that off of there. But I want to talk about the paint a little bit. For the most part, I think it's pretty well done. I like the color scheme that they chose. Obviously, white's going to be the dominant color. The one thing they did do is paint some accents, some yellow accents around it. I don't know how I feel about that. Looks like Yeti has been hanging out with R. Kelly, and that's unfortunate for him. I don't know if they said, well, you know how to make a snow white creature scary is to make part of the snow yellow. But it doesn't really take anything away. I would just have preferred that they not use yellow accents on this snow creature. But other than that, I mean, the eyes are painted great. They're blood red, and they've got, you know, tiny red dots in there. The detail work on the paint is excellent. The face is excellent. I like that shiny paint that they use for the red tongue, so it glistens and it looks more realistic. It's just excellent figure. The ears are brown. It's got some brown modeling around the abdomen area. The other thing I have to say is this figure has a lot of articulation. But it doesn't have a huge range of motion though. You're not going to ask your Yeti to do the splits or whatever, but it can move side to side. What's here is very tight. Some of it is, well, to put it mildly, not terribly useful. Like, look at the range of motion here. It's okay in the abdomen. But down here at the waist, that's duplicative and not at all necessary. But it's better to have more articulation, I guess, than less, because you only get a tiny bit of movement at the waist. The knees, the ankles, you're not going to get him climbing any trees or anything, but he's a Yeti, so he doesn't have to do that. The shoulders are also very tight, but I guess everything there works pretty well. The wrists are also very tight. So it's better to have tight joints than loose joints. I always prefer that. It's got a decent range of motion with the head. It can't really go up that well. I probably want to pose him on a high shelf because he has a tendency to look like he's looking down. But all in all, with the stand included, I think this figure was $40. I think I picked it up at BBTS. And maybe a little more. I'm not sure. Maybe a little less. But the pegs on the stand are really, really snug when you try to fit it in those feet holes. So there he is, folks. The Himalayan Yeti. And we don't have a lot of figures that I know of Yeti. So Creatureplica, good job on this. I'm happy I picked this one up. Thanks for including the stand because it's a must. And good job by Gene St. Jean on the Sculpt. All right, this is DeWitt signing off from PowerLordsReturn.com.